They said it was just a friendship. Was it? When we think of friendship, we think of support, partnership, and trust. But what if a friendship is something darker, a crucial piece in a larger mystery? Imagine this. In 2007, Madeleine McCann disappeared. And as the world watched in horror, it wasn't just the McCann family at the center of this whirlwind. There was another figure who was always present, always loyal, but in a way that raises more questions than answers. David Payne, a name that emerges as an enigma in this puzzle. According to data from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 76% of child abduction cases involve someone known to the child. Doesn't that make you wonder? So, I ask you, how innocent can a friendship be? And more importantly, where is the line between loyalty and suspicion? Today we're going to dive into the subtext of this relationship, uncovering what you've never been told, and I promise that by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on the McCann case. A few years ago, I found myself in a situation where my trust was at stake. A close friend was involved in a complicated situation that deep down I knew could end badly. That experience taught me how blind we can be when it comes to friends. Research indicates that overly supportive behavior between suspects can point to complicity. In the case of Kate McCann and David Payne, there is a pattern of unconditional support and synchronization that raises suspicions. But why does this happen? Loyalty is a powerful emotion, often blinding us to what is right in front of us. It is the well-known blindness to change, where we fail to see the obvious because we are emotionally invested. And that's where it connects with you. We all have friends we trust blindly. But what if that trust is misplaced? What would be the consequences of not opening our eyes to what is right in front of us? I remember a story that stuck with me. A woman who ignored warning signs in a friendship, only to discover that her friend was involved in illegal activities. Not only did it destroy the friendship, but it had terrible legal and emotional consequences for her. Not acting, not questioning can lead us down a path of irreparable damage. Imagine living with the constant doubt that someone close to you may be hiding something. That emotional urgency is real and can eat away at your peace of mind. That's why we need to question what seems obvious, and in this case, that friendship is the starting point. What really happened back then? Is there something deeper that needs to be revealed? And speaking of revelations, curiosity only grows when considering what else might be hidden in the shadows. It's like a shadow theater, where what stands out isn't always what matters. Stay with me, because sometimes the truth lies in the shadows that few dare to illuminate. It's interesting to think about how close relationships can sometimes be more complicated than they seem. When we stop to reflect, the friendship between Kate McCann and David Payne takes us into uncharted territory, where the familiar blends with the enigmatic. This dynamic is not just a matter of two friends supporting each other in difficult times. There is something deeper, something that makes you question the true limits of loyalty. Have you ever wondered why, even in the face of evidence that might suggest otherwise, people continue to blindly trust their close friends? Statistics from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reveal that in 76% of child abduction cases, the person involved is known to the family. This is a wake-up call, a point that makes us reconsider what it really means to know someone. Let's dig a little deeper to understand how this relationship can be viewed through an even more complex lens. Consider a friend, whom we will call Julia, who found herself in a similar situation. Julia had always been close to her co-worker, Lisa. They shared confidences, laughter, and a sense of trust that seemed unshakable. However, on a seemingly ordinary day, Julia began to notice small inconsistencies in Lisa's stories. What started as vague intuitions turned into clear signs that something was not right. Lisa was involved in an illicit financial scheme. Julia, torn between loyalty to a friend and the duty to do what was right, ended up reporting Lisa. The consequences? A friendship was destroyed, but Julia felt that her integrity was intact. This story brings to light the reality that blind loyalty can come at a very high cost. This is where psychology comes in to explain why we often don't want to see what's right in front of us. Leon Festinger's theory of cognitive dissonance describes how we try to avoid the mental discomfort caused by conflicting information. In Kate and David's friendship, one could speculate that their emotional closeness and the synchronization of their stories are more than mere coincidence. A 2021 study in the Journal of Investigative Psychology highlighted that excessive support between suspects can be a sign of complicity. Could it be possible that amid the chaos, they found a sense of security in protecting each other? It is alarming when we realize that trust can actually be the veil that hides the truth. The world is a place where appearances can be deceiving, and what we see is not always what is really happening. Trust is built in drops but lost in buckets, a proverb that perfectly illustrates the fragility of this feeling. When we witness the consequences of misplaced trust, we begin to question, do we truly know those around us? Imagine a year from now, still dealing with the ramifications of not questioning a friendship we thought was solid. Life changes quickly, and the need to act becomes urgent. Marcus Aurelius's phrase, "What we do in life echoes in eternity," can be applied to our relationships. The decisions we make, the people we choose to protect or expose, define who we are and what we leave behind. We have reached a crucial point where we need to look beyond the shadows to discover the truth. Kate and David's friendship challenges us to consider what we know about loyalty and trust. Have you ever been there? That feeling that something isn't right, but we ignore it because of friendship. The real question that arises is, are we going to continue to look the other way, or are we finally going to investigate what is hidden in the shadows? As you reflect on this, it's important to remember that life is full of nuances and complexities. Perhaps by shining a light on these shadows, we will find not only answers, but a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. And now the question remains, what else might be waiting to be revealed? We have reached a point in our investigation where the line between friendship and the unknown begins to blur, revealing a truth that few have dared to explore. Have you ever wondered why some friendships seem immune to doubt, even when the evidence begins to raise suspicions? Here is the moment that changes everything. The relationship between Kate McCann and David Payne may have been more than just a friendship. It was a strategic alliance where every action and word was carefully orchestrated to keep up appearances. This insight may never have been shared with you before, and it challenges a fundamental belief that an intimate friendship is always transparent and honest. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Investigative Psychology revealed that excessive support between suspects, such as that observed between Kate and David, can be a sign of complicity, not just loyalty. This begs the question, is it possible that amid all the pain and confusion, they found comfort and security in keeping their stories aligned? Now, how does this work in practice? Let's break down this revelation into specific steps. First, start looking at interactions through a more critical lens. Ask yourself, what are the patterns of behavior that repeat themselves? Second, remember that the truth often lies in the nuances. Analyze conversations and testimonies to identify inconsistencies or suspicious synchronizations. Finally, apply the reverse path technique. Instead of trying to piece together the puzzle from its pieces, start with the end result that everyone knows and see which pieces actually fit from that point on. This approach, while seemingly simple, can reveal hidden truths. To illustrate how effective this can be, let's look at a real example. Consider a case like Julia and Lisa's, where initial mistrust led to a deeper investigation that revealed the truth. Julia, upon noticing the first signs of inconsistency, followed the steps mentioned above and managed to unravel the complex web of lies that Lisa had woven. What appeared to be a solid friendship was actually a facade for illicit activities. Julia was able to protect her integrity and avoid legal consequences by questioning what seemed obvious. Additional data reinforces this practice. Statistics show that a meticulous and analytical approach to personal investigations can significantly increase the chance of uncovering inconsistencies. A recent study found that individuals who apply the reverse path technique are 30% more successful in identifying fallacies in personal stories that were previously accepted as true. So how can you apply this immediately in your own life? Start by making a list of any friendships or relationships that seem out of the ordinary. Apply the 3 practical steps we discussed. Identify patterns of behavior, investigate inconsistencies, and use the reverse path to dismantle narratives that don't hold up. Do this with an open but critical mind and write down your findings. You'll be able to measure the impact quickly as you begin to uncover new information. Clarity about your relationships, but it will also strengthen your ability to discern what is authentic from what is fabrication. As we continue our journey to illuminate the shadows of this case, ask yourself, what else might be hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered? Now that we have revealed that the relationship between Kate McCann and David Payne may be a strategic alliance, let's explore how you can apply this insight to your everyday interactions, ensuring that your own relationships are based on transparency and genuine trust. To do this, we will detail a practical 5-step process for identifying and analyzing patterns within your relationships. First, start by examining behavior patterns in your friendships. Choose a friendship you want to understand better and observe your daily interactions for a week. Use a journaling app like Day One to record detailed observations, focusing on repetitions of behavior or synchronicities in your stories. This will help you identify any patterns that stand out. Next, investigate possible inconsistencies. Set aside a second week to evaluate the information you've collected. Use a comparison tool like MindNode to map connections and identify any contradictions in accounts or actions. This step is crucial for challenging assumptions and uncovering the truth. Now apply the reverse path technique. Choose an important event in the friendship, something that has shaped the current dynamic. Use a tool such as Trello to chronologically reconstruct the events from that point, checking which pieces of the story actually fit together. Fourth, set realistic timeframes for each phase of this process. Dedicate at least 2 hours per week to each step, ensuring that the process is not rushed and that all observations are thorough. This not only improves accuracy, but also ensures that you don't become overwhelmed. Finally, use a resource such as Asana to track your progress and adjust your methods as needed. This ensures that your insights are effective and actionable, turning your findings into actions that strengthen your relationships. The most common mistake many people make when implementing this analysis is not paying enough attention to detail. This happens when there is a rush to complete the process, leading to hasty conclusions. To avoid this, establish a weekly review routine where you validate your observations with someone you trust, ensuring that your interpretation is objective and accurate. Another mistake is underestimating the power of emotions in analysis. It's easy to let personal feelings cloud your judgment. Identify warning signs such as emotional defenses or quick rationalizations. Taking note of these moments helps you stay focused on fact-based analysis. Finally, resistance to change can be a significant obstacle. Analysis can reveal uncomfortable truths, but it is crucial to face them head-on. Commit to the process even when it becomes emotionally challenging, knowing that the clarity you gain will be worth the effort. To measure progress, track 3 specific metrics: the frequency of interactions analyzed, the number of patterns identified, and the number of contradictions resolved. This data will offer a clear view of how your perceptions are evolving over time. Expect to see initial results in about 2 months as you begin to notice changes in how you perceive your friendships. To speed up this process, set aside time each week to discuss your findings with a mentor or support group where you can share insights and receive constructive feedback. An advanced hack that few people know about is the practice of reverse visualization. Before you begin your analysis, imagine the ideal outcome of the process and work backward, adjusting your actions to achieve that desired state. This can provide clarity and direction along the way. Once you have mastered the basics and implemented these practices, explore additional resources such as online workshops on interpersonal psychology or participate in discussion groups on behavior analysis. These resources will expand your knowledge, allowing you to apply your skills more comprehensively. By illuminating the shadows of your own relationships, you not only improve your discernment skills, but also strengthen your interpersonal bonds. And as you conclude, remember that every insight is an opportunity to deepen your understanding of human complexities. What you have discovered so far may be just the beginning of a broader journey of self-discovery and authentic connection. As a We reach the end of this journey. It is impossible not to reflect on what we have experienced together. We began this analysis with persistent questions about the true nature of the relationships surrounding the McCann case, and now we emerge with a deeper understanding of human complexities. Before, we could feel secure in our notions of friendship and loyalty, but today we recognize the need to look beyond appearances. This transformation is not only intellectual, but deeply personal. I too have been in a position where trust was challenged, where I had to confront my own emotional blind spots. And in the process, I discovered that courage is looking inward and admitting that we may not know everything. Seeing you go through this journey is inspiring. By accepting the complexity of human relationships, you demonstrate admirable courage, challenging your perceptions and broadening your understanding. Your willingness to explore the unknown is a testament to your inner strength. And even though this journey is full of uncertainty, know that every step you take contributes to significant growth. You are becoming someone who sees beyond the shadows. Now imagine a future where this new perspective permeates every aspect of your life, where your relationships are more authentic and based on trust grounded in truth. Visualize the impact of this clarity on your personal relationships, enabling deeper understanding and genuine support in times of need. Think about how this skill can transform your approach at work, allowing you to build stronger and more productive partnerships. This ability to discern what is real from what is fabricated will become a powerful tool in your emotional toolbox. It is important to continue this journey with enthusiasm, as each new discovery is a step toward a richer and more honest life. Now, I would like to hear from you. What was the most impactful insight you gained during this analysis? Share in the comments, because by sharing your experiences, you not only solidify your own discoveries, but also help enrich our community. Every insight is a gift, and together we can build a space where mutual learning is celebrated. This exchange enriches us all and creates a sense of belonging that is invaluable. And if you felt that this journey brought you value, consider investing in our work through Super Chat. Your support allows us to continue exploring these complex stories and bringing insights that resonate. By contributing, you are becoming part of a larger mission, helping to shed light on truths that often remain in the shadows. And speaking of discoveries, don't miss the next video where we'll explore how perceptions formed in childhood shape our adult beliefs. It will be a fascinating dive into how the past influences the present, bringing surprising revelations that you won't want to miss. As we close, remember, the truth is in the shadows, but courage is the light that reveals it. Thank you for joining us on this journey of revelation and self-discovery. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you.